So I think the cool thing that we really like about this project, and we think that people really associate with and get, is that this factory was stood up to make boots and uniforms and equipment for an army. And it was made under the Afghan First, Afghan Made initiative, and the whole concept is as they're growing their security sector of their country, i.e. their military and police force, they're also providing income to Afghans, and something, that's something sustainable, so that way they can make money and feed their families while they're making gear that's going to provide them security for their families. And when things start going away here in the next few years, we're concerned with the funding that's going to affect that factory, and what's going to keep those guys employed, what's going to keep those family members fed, how's that going to work? And I think it's really cool that we are taking the complete polar opposite of a military boot and making a flip-flop in Afghanistan. So using the whole swords and plowshares concept, we're completely transitioning away from something made for war to made for lounging and relaxing.
The design process is pretty raw. We start with whatever we can find that has either a color or a theme, or you name it. So, like for instance, the AK is a symbol of Afghanistan. We wanted to have a bullet primer on the shoe, so we start casting bullets to end up with bullet primers. Some of the themes all come out of Afghanistan. We've got poppies all over everything, with opium poppies being a big part of what's going on in Afghanistan and the opium trade. One of the models is called the tuk-tuk, and a tuk-tuk is a little taxi cab in Afghanistan, and they're loud, they're obnoxious, they're highly stylized and very personal for the people that own those. It's their livelihood. And we wanted that shoe to kind of reflect that. So in that particular model, it's probably the loudest one that we've got. We've said that it's visible from outer space on a cloudy day. And when you set foot in Afghanistan and start looking around, there's a vibrancy to how they live and their culture and how they express themselves, and we want that to come through in what we design.
So when I was building the website for Combat Flip Flops, I chose to go with some imagery that showed the struggle of some of our workers, some of the guys we have working in our factory. And there's some pretty incredible stories that go with the people's images that we're using on our site. We have workers who had to leave during the Taliban invasion, and they had to separate from their families and leave everything behind and move to a different country just to live a decent life. Through the Combat Flip Flop site, we have to tell a story. We have to let the users know what our employees, our workers at the factories are going through. That's the story behind Combat Flip Flops. It's a story of struggle and a story of rebuilding the country's economy and reuniting families. It sounds dumb to some people, but the jobs that they're getting through our factories are actually reuniting families, and that's a powerful thing.